400, it should be below a certain temperature. These you can actually find out by using these kind of sensors. Okay. Now, measuring this, what do you do after measurement in Industry 4.0? You have measured this. Okay. So, if I don't have this data, what will happen? Any answer? If I don't have this data, okay, this is the latest sensor which people have developed, okay, where you can actually measure the individual particle temperatures, and then you can get a statistical distribution also. Suppose you don't have this data, what will happen? Yeah, you can't measure the progress, okay? So, sensors development is key to Industry 4.0. You should be able to measure whatever you are throwing at, okay? So, if it is high temperature, high velocity, this should be the this is actually leading to different kinds of technologies. Okay, so measurement, and then finally collect all this data. Okay, so whatever you are doing with this spray, you have a edge gateway, and then you have a customer server, and then you have industrial Internet of Things. All these things will come once you have generated the data. And once you have generated all this data, that data is now going to be useful for the company. Okay. And for example, if I can show you this. Yeah, for example, this component. Okay. When we got this component for coating, the company said that the company had actually sent this to Italy because it was an import. Okay, so those people claimed a lot of money. They didn't want to give it. So finally they approached us. Okay, so they didn't tell me what this material was because those Italian people never told what the material is. Okay, so they told, we don't know what this material is. The task is to identify the material, okay, and then do the coating and finish the job. So my job was first to identify the material. Using characterization techniques, I found out what the material was. Then this jig was basically made for this component only. So what should be the process parameters, everything. Now, since I've left the company, all the knowledge is in the logbook or in my head. Okay, whether the company can use it further or not, we don't know. But suppose in the case of Industry 4.0, all this knowledge is actually captured as and when it is happening. Okay, so you feed in everything, whatever is the parameters, you feed in everything so that this data can actually be used by future generations. Okay, this was about plasma spray, cutting tool industry, for example. In cutting tool industries also, again, you have to generate the data as and when it is happening. Okay, so there are a lot of these sensors which are being developed, which are used in cutting tools. Okay, for example, if you have a spindle motor and it is used to basically milling, for example. Okay, so what kind of data that the sensor can give will be useful. So people have seen that if there is resistance, the current is more. If there is smooth, then the current is less. Okay, so they keep on measuring the current and some other vibration parameters also. You have a vibratory sensor, you have a temperature sensor. Okay, with all these things, you keep on collecting the data, and finally, with a set of machines, you know when the machine is going to fail, when the machine is going to be repair is needed, when the machine service is needed. Okay, so that will actually give you time to think, and it is basically